In this video, we're going to be looking at useBoolean. It is one of those awesome many hooks that Chakra gives you out of the gate. And what it aims to do is it just manages Boolean values to, toggle certain states of whether things are or are not on, and allows you to switch between those quite easily. So we're going to look at the docs, and then I think we have a nice little example overall. This is a short video, so let's get to the docs. We can see it says useBoolean is a custom hook used to manage a Boolean value with on, off, and toggle functions. You bring it in this way right here, import useBoolean. Obviously, it should be a single line import. I haven't seen a hook yet that requires, maybe there is another one. I don't know. When you record so many of these, they get blurry, but it's just one thing you got to bring in. So let's scroll down here. It says the return value says the useBoolean hook returns a stateful Boolean value and an object with the following function to update it. So we have on, off, and we have toggle. And so how do we use it specifically according to this page? So we come down here, we see we have useBoolean coming on in, and then we have the flag, and then we have the set flag. And so as we click here, click me to toggle, we have set flag, which is this little guy right here. And the flag is really just the representation of what the value currently is. So that's why we're doing a toString. So currently right now it's true, and we're taking the Boolean and turning it into a string right here. Otherwise, if it was a string, you could just put flag in here. And as we click this button right here, we're firing off set flag.toggle, which is switching it between true and false, true and false. So that's really no more than that, which is really cool. So using this thing with, the pop-ups, modals, other stuff. I'm sure there's other hooks that go along with that, but there's probably other things that you may build, customize, that this would be a very nice out-of-the-box toggle for you. Coming down here, if we hover, the flag is on. Hover me to turn on, otherwise it's off. So we could turn it on and turn it off, no pun intended, maybe there is, I don't know. Same way we're doing it before, we have a flag and we have a set flag. And for those who maybe don't know, do know, I'm not sure, a flag is typically a concept in programming where it's a Boolean value and we're saying whether something is or is not on, or something is or is not the case. And we could use this in loops, if statements, and other kinds of ways to determine kind of what the procedural context of an application here. And so right now, this is off. As we hover, it turns back on, so it makes a new decision. It presents something else to the user. Now, this isn't always a visual thing. You could have it in the backend for APIs, other logic and whatnot. But in case you're wondering why they're using the set flag, it's really just one of those commonly used words to mean, is something true or false? And if so, do something or do something else. And so we have on mouse enter here, which is cool. This is nothing, ultra different, special, nothing else you have to type in here above and beyond what you typically would for a program, no extra libraries. And so on mouse enter, we're going to turn it off. And when the mouse leaves, turn it off. So you may be thinking for this example, why would I use this? But think about maybe when you have a desktop application, right? And when you hover over something, maybe you have a card that has, something on there, some text or whatnot. And when you hover over it, maybe the image gets animated or moves, or something overlays or pops up on top of it to give a bit more flash to that card, or a little bit more information or focus. So you could use these things subtly, which is, I think, a pretty cool idea. That's one of the first things that came to my mind here. But after that, we just have the parameters here, and really it's just the hook useBoolean accepts the initial Boolean value. By default, it is false, I think all things. So let's go to doing an example. Alrighty, so we have just one example for useBoolean. So let's go ahead and get to coding. So after all that coding, what we have here is we have this button, we have an on click, and this is set flag dot off right here. And so you can kind of tell that this set flag dot off, this has a, this is an object. And so we have off and we have on and we have toggle as well. So what we have going on right here is this box, we have a center, and then, just slap this together really quickly. Let me spread this out here to show this a little bit easier. And then we have the state. So we have the flag, which is this dot toString. So if I click that, it's false. But if I was to come back here and do something like on, right, it switches it to true. But it's not going to switch it to true, or I should say to false, because this is only setting it to true when I on-click it. What if I wanted to toggle it? Well, I could come in here and I could toggle it back and forth that way. And so this is how you could use useBoolean. You could use it as just a hard way to turn something on and off, or have something in a toggle state. If you like what I'm doing, like, share, subscribe, all that other jazz. I'll see y'all in the next video.